not have to do that.
Who doesn't love breakfast for dinner or after dinner snack?
Or breakfast.
Yeah. So in the morning?
Definitely.
They beam at each other and share a tender kiss. As they kiss, Lucy straddles Whistler on the sofa. The image freezes.
Merced, who died after visiting a trampoline park. The news is next.
If you've had thyroid eye disease for years, and you go through artificial tears in the blink of an eye, or your eyes feel like they're getting kicked in the backside, it's not too late for another treatment option for thyroid eye disease, also known as TED. To learn more, visit treatted.com. That's treat.com.
You like that bone? I got a great price on it.
Did you see my tail when that Chewy box showed up?
Oh, I saw it.
My tail goes bonkers for treats at great prices. Sorry about the vase.
Save more on what they love with everyday great prices at Chewy.
Want luxury hair repair that doesn't cost $50? Pantene's Pro Vitamin formula repairs hair, as well as the leading luxury bonding treatment for softness and resilience without the price tag. If you know it's Pantene.
Live from Mar-a-Lago is the former First Lady.
New tonight.
In 2 weeks on NCIS.
Hey, come on. Get away.
She's going somewhere in a hurry or running from something.
Question is what?
A new NCIS in 2 weeks on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
In 2 weeks on a new NCIS Hawaii.
That habitat is the most secure place in Hawaii.
So a perfectly healthy Navy pilot died for no reason.
Maybe he was poisoned.
If that's true, the killer's still in the habitat.
Let the others know.
Ernie, behind you!
A new NCIS Hawaii in 2 weeks on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Class Training, a six-figure starting salary, and make a positive difference in your community. Apply now, scan the code, or visit jointhechp1000.com.
This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11.
New at 11 tonight, the community of Merced gathers for a prayer vigil after the death of a 10-year-old boy. Police are releasing more information about what happened at a trampoline park before Anthony Duran was taken to a trauma center last week.
CBS 47's Jennifer Ortega was at tonight's vigil where she talked with friends of the boy's family.
It was a sea of emotion. Dozens of people, family and friends, showed up tonight to show their support for the 10-year-old boy that passed away. People bowed their heads in prayer with lit candles and balloons for 10-year-old Anthony Simon Duran.
We're completely devastated. Completely, no mother or child should have to go through something like this.
A memorial of pictures and flowers grows in front of Rocking Jump Trampoline Park, where Anthony was playing moments before the accident.
I'm so glad to see everybody come out from our community to support Maribel and Anthony. We want justice for Anthony, and I'm glad everybody could come out and join and be here for them.
Merced police say the boy was inside playing basketball when he and another child got into a fight Thursday. He was rushed to the hospital and passed away on Sunday.
All these kids, they kind of know each other. They're all linked up somehow. My son comes here every Friday. He comes here every Friday night. Anthony was his dodgeball buddy. The minute when we found out, we were like, we had to come over here and give our support to the family.
There was a moment of silence and a balloon release in Anthony's memory. His friends remembering his smile and skills on the court.
We all used to hang out, play football, play video games. He was just funny, just a good person and a good friend, and I'll just protect him.
Officials say the incident was captured on security cameras inside the trampoline park. We're told they're still investigating what happened and have not determined how he died.
We have no answers. We don't know what happened. We were just wishing for miracles, miracles, miracles. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, so now we want answers.
And the family says there will be another vigil held sometime this week. In Merced, Jennifer Ortega, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
And for continuing coverage on this story, of course, stay with Eyewitness News here on TV and on our website, yourcentralvalley.com.
New at 11, a 13-year-old boy facing a charge of arson after a playground in Parlier is set on fire, engulfed in flames. On Sunday around 1 in the afternoon, police and firefighters were called to Cesar Chavez Elementary School. They found a playground on fire. No one was hurt, but damage is estimated at around $60,000 to $120,000. Officers were able to identify a suspect through leads and surveillance video. A 13-year-old Parlier Junior High student was taken into custody today and then released to his parents. He's facing charges of felony arson.
It has been more than 24 hours now since police in Tulare shot and killed a man who they say was threatening his family with a knife. New here at 11, we are learning that he may have been unarmed when he was shot. CBS 47's Juanita Adame with the new details on the investigation.
The Tulare Police Department did not confirm to us that this case involved an unarmed man. The police chief did, however, state that the case is being investigated by the Department of Justice. These photos, courtesy of Tulare Stringing 559, are some of the images from an officer-involved shooting that left one man dead.
The two involved officers who were uninjured are on paid administrative leave.
The Tulare Police Department disclosed very few details about the case during a press conference on Monday afternoon.
At about 3:15 p.m., the Tulare Police Department dispatch received a call regarding a male with a knife in the area of Bardsley Avenue and Vetter Street within the city of Tulare.
The initial call was of a man armed with a knife, threatening to throw it at family members.
Officers made contact with the male, and a foot chase ensued. At the conclusion of the foot chase, there was an officer-involved shooting.
The man was rushed to a nearby hospital but died from his injuries. What Police Chief Inkland did say, however, is that the Tulare County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Justice will be conducting the investigation.
Regarding the circumstances that led to the shooting, as mandated pursuant to Assembly Bill 1506.
Police did not confirm if the man was unarmed at the time he was shot. But California Bill 1506 is a bill that requires the Department of Justice to investigate officer-involved shootings that result in the death of unarmed citizens. According to the Department of Justice website, for 2023, there were 11 cases across the state of California that are under investigation for officer-involved shootings involving unarmed civilians. In the studio, Juanita Adame, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
We're learning new details about a deadly shooting in Fresno over the weekend. Deputies say 16-year-old Nolan Chan was shot and killed Saturday near Princeton and Valentine. Investigators say this was not a random act of violence. They say Chan was involved in a gang and was the intended target from rival gang members.
We know that Nolan Chan was one of those gang members. You know, he's so young. It appears that he just recently joined into the gang, but he was definitely associating himself as being part of an Asian gang.
So far, no arrests have been made in the case.
We are coming off of a warm weekend, mid and upper 70s for us Saturday and Sunday, but today we certainly felt cooler temperatures, 60s and low 70s. Let's give you a look outside with our Valley Cam network. This is going to be a quick time lapse from our CBS 47 studio camera. Starting this afternoon, we did have some clouds around. Those started to clear out just before sunset, so we are mostly clear now, but we're going to see a couple of changes around sunrise. 56 now Fresno, 54 Visalia, and 51 currently in Merced. Midnight temperature 54. We're going to see a small chance for a few sprinkles early tomorrow morning, 50 degrees at 8 a.m. By mid-morning, that chance is done, and we're going to be seeing some afternoon sunshine, but temperatures stay cool. I will talk about a late week warm-up in your pinpoint weather forecast coming up. First, we'll send it back to Brian.
All right, Lauren, thank you. In the South Valley tonight, PG&E is taking steps to protect substations located near Tulare Lake. The company is focusing on substations in Corcoran, Elpaw, and the unincorporated community of Angiola. With Tulare Lake floodwater is creeping closer and closer every day, the plan is to build a 16-foot tall flood wall.
Where it's at right now, it's just a couple hundred yards from the edge of the Tulare Lake. We've seen forecasts that call for 8 to 10 feet of water out there, up to 13 or 14.
Now, that's a lot of water. PG&E says that it won't have much impact in the short term, but things could get really tough when the snow starts to really melt.
New at 11, a federal appeals court has overturned the city of Berkeley's first in the nation ban on natural gas in new construction. The court ruled in favor of a lawsuit filed by the California Restaurant Association. It argued that the city bypassed federal energy regulations when it approved that ordinance. The measure took effect in 2020, and it was intended to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming. With some exceptions, it banned new residential and commercial buildings from installing natural gas piping in favor of electrical lines.
In continuing coverage, the mass shooting in Alabama, new details tonight. 4 people were killed, 28 others shot and injured, mostly teenagers, during a Sweet 16 birthday party. Investigators in Dadeville say that they have strong leads, but still at this hour have not released any information about a possible suspect or suspects. Tonight we are hearing from the birthday girl herself, Alexa. Her brother Phil died in this shooting. Listen.
I grabbed him and I was patting him on his face, and I said, stay with me. I said, stay with me, you strong. I said, you strong. I said, you're gonna be fine.
He died not long afterwards. This is so heartbreaking. The high school senior was set to graduate just next month and is already committed to play football for Jacksonville State come fall. There have been 162 mass shootings so far this year in the United States. Thousands are fed up with feeling unsafe, many protesting today in Washington, D.C. A new CBS News poll finds 62% of Americans want to ban AR-15 semi-automatic rifles. And this is interesting. 2 very, very different takes on gun safety. Listen to this. 81% of liberals think that the U.S. would be safer if fewer or no guns were owned by people. 40% of conservatives think the U.S. would be safer if more people or everyone owned a gun.
I'm terrified every single day, every single moment, because it's not if it will happen again, it's when.
And a startling stat here, a study from the Kaiser Family Foundation finds roughly 1 in 5 Americans have had a shooting death in their family.
Hundreds of survivors of crime are in Sacramento this week, and they've brought with them a message for lawmakers. This is the 10th annual Survivors Speak conference, put on by the Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice, the nation's largest network of survivors of crime.
400 people plus are here because they want the option of healing. They want the love. They want to grow and bring love into their experience and share it with others. That's the powerful message, you know?
And they want to make sure that state lawmakers prioritize violence prevention, along with removing barriers to assistance for victims and survivors.
A group of Valley veterans are spending their first night in Washington, D.C. tonight after flying out of Fresno earlier today. This is the 24th Central Valley Honor Flight, made up of 68 veterans representing the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, and Army Corps, Marine Corps, I should say. They'll be visiting the memorial erected in their honor in Washington, D.C.
There's just so much to look forward to. Every day is just packed with one interesting thing after another, and joining all these fellow veterans around here and seeing their joy.
But 10 years after we started, we actually have 2 World War II veterans on this flight who still haven't been to their memorial. So that's why we keep this going.
The veterans returned Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and everyone is invited to the airport to welcome them back home. The trip is paid for 100% by donations. If you would like to help the Central Valley Honor Flight, you can find a link on our website, yourcentralvalley.com.
Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, a proposed Trump property south of the border has investors asking for their money back. We're back in a little over a minute.
Traffic is backed up in an accident on the freeway that has to be cleared.
Do you guys know that over 400,000 kids are in foster care right now?
400,000?
Yep.
Just talking about foster care can help foster care.
Come on.
Move out the way.
Donate your small talk.
You're invited to the Visalia Chamber of Commerce Impact Leadership Conference, April 20th. Learn about quality leadership and workforce training for Valley business owners and employees. Nationally recognized speakers will focus on workplace skills, personal growth, and community activism. Local experts will talk about leadership trends and offer networking with entrepreneurs. Central Valley employers will be on hand for career advancement opportunities. Don't miss the Visalia Chamber of Commerce Impact Leadership Conference. Call or go online today for information.
This week, Colbert's New with Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux.
USA! USA!
This week on CBS.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Motion Madness Electric Bikes. CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11 with Catherine Hurd, Brian Dorman, and Pinpoint Weather with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace. On CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Donald Trump put his name on a condo project years ago in Baja, California.
The project failed to come together, and investors, well, tonight they're still hurting. Salvador Rivera has the story in tonight's Border Report.
We're about 10 miles south of the border, and on this bluff is where Donald Trump promised to develop a one-of-a-kind condo complex in Mexico. And people like Sandra Sapol invested tens of thousands of dollars. Nothing ever got built, and Sapol and many others never got their money back. Trump's ocean resort never got off the ground. In fact, you could say it went in the opposite direction. Only a large pit remains on the 17-acre site, dug out for the building's foundation.
I drive by the property at least once a month, and it absolutely hurts. Every single time I drive by that hole in the dirt that I paid for, it really hurts. I just can't tell you how much.
Sandra Sapol, years later, still hurts after being fooled by the billboards and the Trump name.
My husband at the time thought that investing money in Trump or a Trump property would be a great investment for our money. We were enticed to put down our money and buy one of the condos, and we were very excited at the time.
Sapol says they bought in after attending 2 cocktail parties for potential investors held at the Manchester Grand Hyatt in downtown San Diego.
One of which I met Ivanka Trump, who was supposed to be my neighbor. I was supposed to share some sugar with her. We had a conversation about that.
The laughter would turn to concern as there was no building activity on the job site. It looks now like it looked then. No buildings, no roads, nothing.
All of a sudden, the offices were closed, and all of a sudden the fences went up, and all of a sudden we weren't getting phone calls back from the Trump Baja property. And we started to freak out.
Sapol and her husband realized the money they had invested for a dream oceanfront home was gone, like it was swept out to sea.
I don't know if you've ever lost $130,000 in cash. I'm not talking about a credit card. I'm talking about green cash. Lost. It's gone.
According to the Los Angeles Times, Sapol is one of 250 investors, mostly from Southern California, who lost $32.5 million. Lawyers were willing to represent her in a class action lawsuit against Trump and other developers, but wanted $5,000 up front.
And my husband's like, we're not spending another dime on this property. We're going to just cut our losses.
Other buyers did sue, then settled with Trump and a California-based developer. They claimed the Trump family was part of a fraudulent marketing scheme. An attempt to later turn the land into a senior retirement community with medical facilities also failed. It's difficult to determine if there are any plans now for the property, but Sapol still hopes for some restitution.
Wouldn't it be great if somebody from the Trump organization were to say, Sandra, here's your money back. I'm so sorry for what you've been through.
Salvador Rivera, Border Report.
His doors have been closed now for 2 years, but that is about to change.
The libraries are growing. They're not what they used to be. They're not simply chasing you around going, shh.
You're invited to the grand reopening of the library at Northwest Fresno. That story right after your pinpoint weather forecast.
And right now, I do have your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. Your top pollens, oak, birch, and maple. Expect medium high levels for the next 4 days. We are cooling down. I do have several 60-degree days to tell you about in your pinpoint weather forecast next.
Time views where you live. The Valley Cam Network gives you the latest conditions live. See them on Eyewitness News or online at yourcentralvalley.com.
When you're hurt in a car wreck, you'll have questions, you'll have health issues, and you'll have bills.
And when you call 800-LAW-3080, you'll have answers.
We're the Curtis Legal Group.
Call 1-800-LAW-3080.
The viewer seems to have been lost in the shuffle of cable news lately.
The vast majority of people are in the sensible middle. They're not the far right wing and they're not the far left wing.
They don't want a team sport. They want the full picture.
The appetite is greater than it has ever been for perspective, for understanding, and for information that they can not just trust, but use.
See why America's fastest growing cable news network is News Nation.
My main mission is to give patients a breath of fresh care. My specialty is in allergy and immunology. So allergies in the skin is eczema, allergies in the lungs is asthma. And then, of course, immunology is the basic root of asthma. And as long as you have good immune control, these diseases do not move forward with being severe. I trained for this, and I need to help the community, and I know I can deliver on that.
The Jeep Celebration event is kicking off at family-owned and operated Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat. And if you're looking for fun, if you're looking for adventure, or if you're just looking for something new, we've got you covered. Get great offers on our entire lineup of go anywhere, do anything Jeeps during the Jeep Celebration event.
We look forward to earning your business. Come join our family today.
Fresno Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat on Blackstone between Bullard and Sierra.
When you're hurt in a car wreck, you'll have questions, you'll have health issues, and you'll have bills.
And when you call 800-LAW-3080, you'll have answers.
We're the Curtis Legal Group.
Call 1-800-LAW-3080.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Central Floor Supply. Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather forecast.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace. And we're coming off a warm weekend, mid and upper 70s, both Saturday and Sunday. But today we certainly felt a cool down, 70 degrees for our high, below the average high of 74. We're going to drop again tomorrow. We're going to stay on the cool side Wednesday before temperatures start warming up again. 56 right now, Fresno, 54 Visalia, 53 Lemoore. You're in the low 50s if you were in Merced. We have 40s for those of you in Mariposa, and then Shaver Lake getting very close to the freezing point. Those numbers I just showed you. Cooler compared to this point yesterday by 5 degrees Fresno, by 5 degrees in Hanford, by 4 degrees in Porterville and in Merced. So it's been a noticeable cool down. I think you'll really notice that drop in temperature again tomorrow. Current wind, it is breezy outside. Fresno coming in at 16 miles per hour, 14 for those of you in Hanford. I do expect to feel the breeze tonight, tomorrow, even into Wednesday and Thursday. So here's a look at our wind forecast throughout the overnight hours, 10 to 20 miles per hour for most of you. Here's 5 a.m. and again, that will continue throughout the day tomorrow. So on average across the valley, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Of course, we'll get some stronger gusts in there. And like I mentioned, it's going to stay breezy for much of this week. Here's a look at a flood warning. This is for the Kings River, and this is something we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, but it was a flood advisory. It did get upgraded just after 5 o'clock this evening to a flood warning. So there are going to be some more water releases from Pine Flat Dam, and that's going to lead to some higher water levels. So be careful of flooding around there. That's in effect until further notice. And then we also still have our flood advisory for the San Joaquin River. This is from Friant Dam to Mendota. This is in effect at least until Friday morning. So do expect to see some minor flooding along the San Joaquin River. Let's talk about the last 12 hours. This is our radar satellite loop. We did see a little bit of cloud cover around throughout today. A lot of that has cleared out, but I do want to point out a couple of showers moving through the Bay Area right now. That's something that we're going to be watching as we get into tomorrow morning. So I'll show you that with our forecast. Here's 11 o'clock this evening. As we go through tonight, again, keep an eye on those really quick sprinkles. So as we get towards sunrise in and north of Fresno County, a small chance for a few sprinkles. The better chance is going to be closer to the foothills, and then we'll see some light snow above 4,000 feet. So that's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is out of here by mid-morning. So the vast majority of you in the valley won't see anything. Will be partly cloudy tomorrow, but it's going to be cool and it's going to be breezy. Tomorrow night we stay clear. Here's 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We'll take you through the day. I expect to see plenty of sunshine Wednesday. Still going to be breezy, and temperatures are still going to be running below average. For tonight, Los Banos back to 45 for your low. 63 tomorrow. Chowchilla 63 degrees. If you're in Fresno, 47 tonight. You'll be at 65 tomorrow. South Valley, we have 40. Corcoran, 66 degrees tomorrow. 65 for those of you in Visalia. North Fork, 59 tomorrow. And if you're in Three Rivers, 48 tonight, 64 tomorrow afternoon. Here's our extended forecast. Breezy for the next couple days. We'll be in the 60s Tuesday and Wednesday, up to the 70s Thursday, warmer Friday, and then I expect low 80s all weekend long and into Monday. In the Sierra, slight chance for rain or snow tomorrow morning. Then we dry out. We're going to see sunshine, warming temperatures, and 60s this weekend. There's your forecast. We'll send it back to Brian and Catherine.
Lauren, thank you. In Northwest Fresno, the Fig Garden Regional Library is about to reopen tomorrow. It's been closed for nearly 2 years for a major renovation that nearly doubled its space. The new design includes a teen space and an increase in computer availability.
And so this extra space gave us the ability to grow and to add all kinds of new things, from study rooms to a quiet room, to tables to charge your phone, laptops, expanded the children's room. We got a whole brand new teen room.
And if you'd like to check it out, the grand opening is at 1:30 tomorrow. The library is in the Marks and Bullard Shopping Center.
Coming up in sports, how a former Bulldog ended up at a Mountain West rival. Plus, the Kings and Warriors continuing their series in Sacramento, how a strange incident might have played a part in the outcome. Hang tight, Sports Central's next.
Don't let the insurance company push you around. Get a law firm that can push them around. The team at Jacoby & Myers has gotten our clients up to 10 times the insurance company's original offer. Don't settle for less. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving. Yeah, it rocks. Step up to GMC with 0.9% APR for 5 years and no monthly payments for 90 days on 2022 Sierra light-duty crew cab models.
United Health Center's newest location in Hanford is now open on Mall Drive. We welcome you to become our new patient. Our Hanford Health Center is ready to provide the quality health care you and your family deserve. Call us at 1-800-492-4227. 1-800-492-4227 to book your medical or dental appointment today. United Health Centers. Wellness for a lifetime.
Don't wait until the pipes burst. Trust Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. At Lee's, you get your residential plumbing diagnostic for $49 all the time.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact is for Eyewitness News Investigates.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Tired, achy, swollen legs? Varicose veins can be more than skin deep. Regular exercise and compression stockings can help you enjoy a full and active life.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Let's go!
A new season means new opportunities. Discover action-packed adventure in a brand new Toyota truck. Get low 3.99% APR on the legendary Tacoma. Check out the powerful Tundra or lease a Tacoma double cab 4x4 for as low as $369 a month.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
If you haven't been paying attention, San Joaquin Memorial alum Brook Lopez has quietly become a defensive force with the Bucks. So much so, he just missed out on winning NBA Defensive Player of the Year, which was announced on Monday. Lopez was a close runner-up to the Grizzlies' Jaren Jackson Jr. To Sacramento we go. Kings-Warriors Game 2 here. Draymond Green and Domantas Sabonis get tangled up midway through the fourth. Green stomps on Sabonis. He'd get ejected. He'd get into it with the fans, and the Kings would take advantage. De'Aaron Fox with the biggest three of his 24 points right there. Light the beam again because the Kings win it by 8. They go up 2-0 on the defending champs. Meantime, former Bulldog basketball player Jamal Baker Jr. has found his new college home, and it's another school in the Mountain West. The grad transfer posting a photo of himself in a New Mexico jersey to his Instagram account Monday, indicating he is now committed to the Lobos. Baker was the Dogs' second leading scorer last season, but recently entered the transfer portal. Football now, and speaking of the portal, 2 Bulldogs, defensive lineman Matt Lawson and nickelback Reggie Strong, announcing on social media Monday they've also entered the portal. Lawson was a 5-year player who had 12 tackles this past season. Strong was a 4-year Bulldog, but did not record a tackle this past year. Here was Coach Tedford Saturday when asked about the spring portal opening.
We will have exit interviews with them because now they really have to identify where they are, you know, in the depth, and if their window of opportunity has run out, is it better for them to move on? So we still have to really kind of evaluate all of that and then see if we have a major need, which is not all over the place.
One area where the Dogs might be looking to add, though, is slot receiver. And Monday, a 3-year receiver at Nebraska tweeted that Fresno State has already offered him an opportunity. Finally, to that video from Monday, a little better than the rest. It's Bemis' best.
Serves it into right center field, and Austin wins in his first at-bat as a Dodger. He's knocked in 2 with a double to put the Dodgers in front.
Former Bulldog Austin Wynns agreed to a Major League contract with the Dodgers Sunday. One day later, he made his first at-bat count for his new club. It wasn't enough to get LA the win, but perhaps more importantly, it does get the ex-Bulldog a coveted spot in Bemis' best. Now, Wynns spent a big part of last year with the Giants, if you remember. He was actually on their big league roster briefly last Sunday before being designated for assignment on Monday. 1 week later, he's now with the Giants' biggest rival. Funny how it all works out, right, guys?
Ah, revenge, so sweet. Thanks, Scott. The suit may be a bit out of style, but plenty of people still want it. An iconic piece of movie memorabilia will be hitting the auction block in Beverly Hills. We'll tell you about it straight ahead.
1,000 positions hiring. Endless opportunity. Benefit from world-class training. A 6-figure starting salary. And make a positive difference in your community. Apply now, scan the code, or visit jointhechp1000.com.
Our sauce starts with locally sourced, vine-ripened tomatoes. It's fresh herbs and spices, and it's made from the same recipe we've been using since 1958, because great things stand the test of time.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the SUVs of the future for everyone. Ford Edge and Explorer, built with Bliss to detect vehicles in your blind spot, and with lane keeping system, because the SUVs of the future aren't created for just a few. They're made for America. Ford Edge and Explorer. Drive one today.
Get Ford Explorer at 0.9% APR for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash. Or get Ford Edge for 0% APR for 72 months plus $3,000 bonus cash.
What makes Best Reviews the best reviews?
Milk?
They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything. So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
We all need something different from our home, and sometimes that's just more house. That's why Golden One helps you get more.
You're approved.
From lower rates to expert advice from people who can guide you through the process. So Whether it's more space to share a meal or somewhere to entertain new friends, we'll get you into your perfect home. As a not-for-profit credit union, we make sure you get more, so you can be more.
Spring into action and save on stressless seating at the Bone Store. Now get $400 off all classic power recliners, signature-based recliners and ottomans, and cross-based recliners and ottomans. And get $400 off most sofas and love seats. Imagine how much you can save building your dream sectional. Shop the Bone Store with locations in Fresno and Visalia or at thebonestore.com.
New at 11, an iconic white suit worn by actor John Travolta is hitting the auction block once again.
I can see Scott Bemis wearing this. We're talking about the outfit from Saturday Night Fever. Film critic Gene Siskel bought it at a charity. It was sold after he died in 1995. And now, Scotty, dig deep. It's expected to go for about $200,000 at an auction this weekend in Beverly Hills. And maybe if that's not so much your style, you can get one of the wands from the Harry Potter movie instead. No idea what those are going for.
I bet they'll go for a lot, too.
A lot more than the suit, maybe.
I don't know.
The wand's more popular, I think, than that suit jacket.
The suit is iconic.
Yes.
It truly is. It's like one of those Marilyn Monroe dresses, almost.
Almost. That's our time here tonight at 11.
Stay tuned for The Late Show. Good night.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
You are what you litter. Coffee cups, cigarette butts, food wrappers, soda cans. Litter heads are a major problem. But we all have a choice. Don't be a litterhead. One vision, one mission, one Fresno.
Together, we can beautify Fresno. Find out how at beautifyfresno.org.
Get the most cash for your Rolex watch at Valley Watch Firm, your #1 Rolex resource in the Central Valley. We specialize in buying and selling vintage and pre-owned Rolex watches. Visit valleywatchfirm.com, the experts for all your Rolex needs. Valley Watch Firm, we won't waste your time.
At Central Floor Supply, our new showroom is filled with name brand, waterproof flooring, and luxurious carpets. We have better selection, better quality, and much better prices than the big box stores. For the best in flooring and real customer service, visit Central Floor Supply.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Need help? CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us.
In New York, Congressman Jim Jordan and the House Judiciary Committee are here. The chair held a so-called field hearing on crime.
In Bragg's Manhattan, you can resist arrest, deal drugs, and even carry a gun to get away with it.
Crime in New York City is actually down.
Homicides are down 9%, shootings are down 14%, robbery down 10%, burglary down 23%, transit crime down 11.5%.
Killers on the loose, like the purge every day. That's what Jim Jordan says about New York, New York. Demonic barbers are roaming Broadway. Look out, that arsonist has a huge torch, violent thugs filled with air and monsters. In Times Square, call 911. Nude horse, nude horse.
It's the
Show fan. And now, live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's Stephen Colbert.
Welcome one and all to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. I hope you all had a great weekend, but no matter what kind you had, you didn't have as much fun as President Biden, who wrapped up his tour of Ireland. It was everything he dreamed it would be. He met with relatives, he toured some castles, he got to visit the Malarkey factory. Throughout the trip, he delivered a bunch of speeches, obviously, including this one in Dublin, where he ended with these inspiring words.
There's nothing our nations can't achieve if we do it together. I really mean it. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Yeah, baby, lick the world. Lick the world. Lick the... Oh, God. I have no idea what the hell that means. But if anybody can do it, it's Joe Biden. Then, Biden was off to his ancestral home of County Mayo, where he gave one hell of an entrance.
Please welcome, as son of Ballina and the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
It's Joe Biden's first ever WWE